Happy New Year and welcome back to Tasty Tuesday. I hope everyone had a fabulous holiday, and today we're going to start the new year off right with a healthy breakfast option called a tofu scramble. I'm also going to be showing you a few kitchen gadgets that I like to use that help make my chopping and prep time go a little quicker in the kitchen. So let's get started. First, I like to chop all of my ingredients ahead of time. This is called a wood bowl, and I got it from the Holland wood mill bowl here in Michigan. They make beautiful wood bowls, and when you buy the bowl, you also can buy a mezzaluna or chopping knife that helps you chop right in the bowl. So I'm going to prep starting my 2 cups of fresh spinach and chopping it in the mezzaluna bowl. You want to be careful because the knife really is sharp, but it won't damage the bowl. And it really helps keep the spinach all in one place instead of having it slide around on a cutting mat for you. The mezzaluna fits right in all of their bowls, and their bowls come in a variety of different sizes and are built for chopping. As you can see, the mezzaluna knife and the wood bowl do a beautiful job chopping the spinach up into nice tiny pieces to put in our tofu scramble. Again, be very careful because this is a very sharp blade. I also have prepared 1 sweet red pepper and 4 ounces of baby portobello mushrooms that will go in as soon as our skillet gets hot. The next little tool and gadget I want to show you is something I picked up from a place online called Kitchen, and it is wonderful for chopping onions. I love it because it pulls like a lawnmower. You simply put your big, large pieces of onion in the bottom, the lid on the top, and you give it a few pulls. It has little scrapers that go around the edges, and after just a few pulls, you have a perfectly chopped onion ready to go. So I have all my ingredients chopped and set to the side. Next comes the tofu. I use a tofu press made by Tofuture. And you want to make sure that you press out all the extra liquid. You don't have to have a tofu press, but it beats trying to find a big heavy object to sit around on top of kitchen towels and try to press out the tofu. So this was something, they're not very expensive. I did get it on Amazon, and it presses all of the liquid out of your extra firm tofu. I like to use the organic extra firm tofu. It looks like this. You can freeze it and thaw it if you don't want to use it right away. I sometimes have a hard time finding it, so I tend to buy a few of them at a time and keep them in the freezer. After you've put it in the press and you've pressed out all the liquid, you simply want to take your hands and crumble up the tofu. It's going to, believe it or not, look a lot like scrambled eggs when you're finished. Once you have the tofu all broken up, it'll have a consistency of roughly scrambled eggs. Now we're going to add all of our ingredients. We're going to start with 2 tablespoons of Bragg's liquid aminos, and that goes right in with the tofu. This is the Bragg's. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of stone ground mustard. I like to use the West Bray brand because it doesn't have any extra added ingredients. I need to put in my 2 teaspoons of the stone ground mustard. After that, we're going to add 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. I use Bragg's nutritional yeast, but you can also buy it in bulk on Amazon in a 2-pound bag. Next, we're going to add in a tablespoon of ground garlic powder, a teaspoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of oregano, a 1/2 teaspoon of sage, a 1/2 teaspoon of basil leaves, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black cumin, and that gives it a peppery taste. If you don't have the ground black cumin, you can use ground black pepper. It'll give it the same flavor. I like using the ground black cumin because Dr. Greger says it gives us lots of extra phytonutrients and nutrients that are good for us. And a 1/4 teaspoon of regular paprika. And a 1/4 teaspoon of black salt, also known as, and I'm going to say it wrong, I'm sure, kalonamic. This is what's going to give your tofu scramble the egg flavor that you want. We'll finish it off with 1 tablespoon of 100% pure maple syrup, and then we're ready to blend. Now that we have all of the ingredients in here, we're going to mix this together. Meanwhile, I have my skillet heating up on the stove. And you want to make sure all of your spices get fully incorporated into the tofu. Now that their pan is fully heated, I like to test it just by taking a little bit of water, and you should be able to hear the little sizzle. It will roll around on the top when it's nice and hot. We're going to add our onions, our mushrooms, and our peppers to the heated skillet. I cook them for about 3 to 5 minutes until they're nice and soft. We add the onions, the mushrooms, and the red peppers to the preheated hot skillet. We want to saute these until the onions and the peppers and the mushrooms all reduce down just a bit. If it starts to stick, you can always add a little bit at a time, about a tablespoon of water as you're cooking. I'm using a stand pan, and it is very, very good about not sticking, but occasionally I will still have to add a little bit of moisture to my pan, and really it helps to steam your vegetables and get them cooking down. Once the onion and peppers have cooked down and they've gotten nice and soft, then you're going to add your tofu and spice mixture to the skillet. You want to continue stirring this for about 5 to 7 minutes until the tofu gets nice and browned and all of the spices have a chance to incorporate. Try to make sure if you have any large chunks that you kind of mash them down with the back of the spoon. Really get all those spices blending in together. Once all of the ingredients are well incorporated, after about 5 minutes, we're going to stir in our chopped spinach. This is an incredibly healthy dish. Mushrooms, tofu, spinach, so many rich vitamins and nutrients that are really, really good at promoting good health. And you want to cook this down until the spinach begins to wilt and get just a little bit soft. Takes just a couple of minutes to get the spinach wilted down and soft. You can also use kale if you prefer to use kale. I happen to have spinach today. And then you're finished. I hope you enjoyed this week's Tasty Tuesday, episode 5, with our tofu spinach scramble. I like to eat mine with some of my favorite hot sauce and a slice of whole grain bread. It makes for a wonderfully balanced, very nutritious start to your day. If you like the video, please think about hitting the subscribe button in the bottom corner, and please share with a friend. Once I hit 100 subscribers, I hope to add another day of tasty videos to your channel. Thank you, and let me know in the comments some of additional recipes or things you would like to see demonstrated on this channel. Also, I'm thinking about adding a shopping list the night before so that if you'd like to cook along with me, you could have that option as well. Let me know what you think and have a great day.